Very good morning, and today we will discuss in very short the total fabrication process that I shared before puja, and today I will upload the video regarding that to describe each and every process, but in short, and how fabrication is done. Right. So we all know that MOSFET, CMOS, in-channel MOSFET, P-channel MOSFET, and everything. But now we have to know that how this structure is formed, right? Because we all know the IC, this integrated circuit of MOSFET, integrated circuit of FET, means a single IC. Physically, we have seen that how it is seen. That is BJT, that is the various kind of ICs that you have already handled in your labs in your previous semester. But in VLSI design, you have to know that how this IC is formed, because how this metal structure is formed, how this semiconductor layer is formed, how this insulating layer is formed, how this oxide layer is formed, and everything, right? So it is a very key area. It is a very important area of the VLSI design, that to know the fabrication steps and fabrication process, and how this integrated circuit is designed, how this integrated circuit is formed gradually, right? Because there is a steps, various kind of steps, and gradually by step this structure is formed. Okay, so today I will discuss the fabrication process. But before starting that, I have to know that what is MOS transistor. You all know the answer, but it's my duty to once again to recall that concept, that what is this and how it is formed, right? Because we know that the MOSFET is a fundamental building block of any MOS and CMOS digital logic circuit design, because we have already came to know that is CMOS. What is CMOS? Why CMOS? What is the advantage? Why CMOS is used in digital VLSI technique? And these kind of discussions have already done, because this is the previous work. Okay, we have already completed that task. But we have came to know that is the MOSFET is a fundamental block. Okay, and compared to BJT, and why there is a comparison, why there is a difference, that answer should be asked from your side. This is not from my side, because I have answered the several times in the several videos that I have already shared. Okay, so MOSFET requires a relatively small silicon area, and the fabrication steps are also very few. So that's why this CMOS is chosen. Once again, this is another important concept, that is the MOSFET. That is the MOSFET requires, is a very important point that I have already discussed, a very less area. That's why CMOS is chosen. Okay, and relatively for this simply design, MOSFET allows it to be widely used as a switching device in the VLSI circuits, because we all know that MOSFET acts as a switch. Okay, and this is a 1 or 0. If we see the voltage characteristic curve, current voltage characteristics curve that I have shared, and that video will be uploaded in my next video lecture, in my next class. We have all seen that this is your ideal curve. This is your ideal curve. This is the input and this is the output. This is your ideal curve, but practically there is a slope. Practically there is a slope. Why it is slow? What are the different region, and what region is applicable for linear region, saturation region, and cutoff region, and what are the nature of the MOSFET in that kind of region, that will be discussed in my next video lecture, right? So these kind of discussions are kept for my next class, but today's class we have to know that what are the different steps, and what are the processes that is included in the fabrication steps, right? So MOS, we all know that this metal oxide semiconductor is two kind of that, and one is your NMOS and one is your PMOS. We all know that. And what is N and what is P? What is this? Because this is in-channel MOSFET. you should not have any confusion regarding that. If we want to build the n-channel MOSFET, we have to use a p-type substrate. But what is that? What is the reason behind that? You all know that. Okay, and if we want to build if we want to manufacture this p-channel MOSFET, we have to use the n-type substrate. So what kind of substrate, what material will be used for the substrate, what material will be used for the oxide layer, what material will be used for the insulating layer, and so on, that will be discussed in the fabrication process. And this is a very common question. This is a 50 marks question that generally comes to the semester, and I will discuss in very short with the proper diagram of each and every steps that you will be able to do that. You will be able to explain it very clearly, right? So we all know the concept of NMOS and PMOS. Why it is N, why it is P? It is not the substrate, it is the N channel and P channel MOSFET, right? Okay, so it is basically field effect device. You all know that it is basically field effect device. Why it is field effect device? Because what is the answer? You know the answer. Why it is field effect? What is the concept of the field and what is the concept of the effect? Because the current flow, the overall current conduction in this FET is controlled by the externally applied electric field, right? So you all know that because in your previous semester solid state device and analog electronics, in each and every subjects there is a concept of MOSFET, because without this MOSFET you have you will not be able to discuss to explain the concept of that. So you all know that why it is field effect transistor. Once again I am saying, because the current flow is controlled by the externally applied electric field, and you all have derived the concept of the electric field, the concept of the drift velocity and everything, right? Okay, and the operation only depends on the majority carriers flow between two device terminals. Okay, and these MOS, these metal oxide semiconductor, what are the terminals are there? There are three terminals. One is source, one is drain, and other one is your gate, right? So this is a very beginning portion, that what is MOS. Okay, so now I will discuss very briefly the structure of the MOSFET, what kind of structure that we are going to build up, right? Okay, so it is also known to you. This is a very basic structure. I am just drawing a very casually. Okay, so this is your, this is your channel, this is the oxide layer, and this is your two-terminal device. This is p-type substrate, body is grounded, this is source, this is drain, and this is gate. So this is the simplified structure that we are going to build up, right? So this is your source, this is your drain, this is your channel. And what kind of parameters are associated with this structure? There is a length, there is a width, and there is a oxide thickness, because this is oxide layer. This one is oxide layer, because we all know that gate is not directly connected to the substrate. Gate is insulated by an insulating layer, and that is built up with the silicon dioxide material. Okay, so here there is a, if we see the 3D structure that I will share in my PDF, if we share the 3D structure, you will be able to see that what is the channel width, what is the W, and what is L, because W by L, this width by length ratio, is a very important parameter that is applicable for design of any MOSFET. Okay, because we in this today's scenario, we are very prone to the nanomaterial. We are very much interested in the nano devices, right? So if we want to build a very tiny structure of that, of any kind of material, of any kind of device, you have to focus on the parameters that are going to be simulated, that are going to be adjusted to make it a very tiny, a very smaller. And what are the parameters of that? The parameters are this width, this length, this oxide thickness, and various of that, the acceptor concentration, donor concentration, because there is a substrate. In p-type substrate there is any kind of material, so obviously there is a doping, right? So various kind of processes are there. I can share my video on the nanoscience and the nanomaterials and nano devices, because this is a new subject that is incorporated in the your fifth semester. Okay, so there I have clearly explained that what are the scaling factors. Scaling means you can enlarge the device, you can make a smaller device, a tiny devices. So if you can enlarge, or if you can make a tiny or smaller of any kind of device, you have to focus on various kind of parameters, and that I am just talking a few minutes ago. That this is the length, this is the width, this is the oxide thickness, this is the voltage, this is the supply voltage, this is the acceptor concentration, this is the donor concentration, and there is a power, there is a delay. Each and every parameters are associated with that, and by discussing that, by adjusting these kind of parameters, we can scale any kind of device. Okay, so whenever I will upload the video of the lab related video of this, you will see that whenever you will do the simulation, these kind of parameters are there. How we can adjust the values, right? How we can tally the values, how we can bigger or smaller the values. So there you will see that what are the parameters are applicable, are responsible for scaling any device, for manufacturing the device. Okay, so in this lecture there is no need to discuss in this detail, but if you want to know the if you want to acquire the knowledge of that how the device is scaled, okay, so I can share the video of that. Okay, so coming to the discussion, so this is your general structure of any kind of MOSFET, but this is a 2D structure, not 3D structure. If we see the 3D structure, you will clearly see that what is length, what is width, and what is every parameters. Okay, so these kind of building block, this kind of structure we are going to manufacture, and through which process we are going to manufacture, this process is known as a fabrication process, right? Okay, so what is this? What this structure define? Clearly seen that there are three kind of terminals. There is source, there is gate, and there is drain, right? And device consists of p-type of substrate upon which these two n+ diffusion regions are formed, right? And the surface of the substrate region are between drain and source is covered with this oxide layer, right? And on which the metal or polysilicon, whenever I will discuss the process, I will mention which material is used for this purpose. And so this is the oxide layer, and on which this metal gate is deposited. This is a gate terminal, and whenever we see the IC physically, right, so there are the metal contact, right, because without which you can't put the supply voltage. So that's why we have to use some metallization at the end of the process. Okay, so this is the metal gate is deposited. Now to this n+ region, these two n+ region are current conducting terminals of these kind of device, because we all know that the current is flowing from this to this, right? And a conducting channel, this kind of conducting channel is usually formed through this applied gate voltage. We all know that, because gate is our controlling parameter. Okay, and applied gate voltage between your source and drain terminals, right? And this distance is defined by the channel length and channel width, because in few minutes ago I discussed that this W/L ratio is an important parameter, right? And here is an oxide layer, and this oxide layer, how much thickness, this layer, this kind of parameter is denoted by Tox. This is the oxide thickness. This is also an important parameter. Okay, but we are discussing in very brief, so there is no need to know in detail of that. Okay, so one more thing, that if we want to turn on this P channel MOSFET or P MOSFET, we all know that you have to apply the negative voltage, because whenever you want to apply negative voltage, there is a capacitive effect. Why it is this? If we apply negative voltage, due to capacitive effect, there is a positive charge will be induced, and again there is negative charge will be induced, and there is a there is N channel, no? There is a mistake. This N channel means NMOS. Sorry. So we have to apply positive gate voltage, because this is the opposite, right? So if we apply positive, there is a negative charge will induce, and again there is a positive charge will induce, and again there is a negative charge will induce. So whenever there is negative charge is induced, the source and drain are connected each other. Okay, and if it was P plus, then it is P channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET means you have to apply negative voltage over there. We all know that, right? Okay, so now let's start the fabrication process. Okay, so fabrication process, basically I have designed some blocks. That's why it will be very easier to explain, because you have to draw the block-wise diagram, okay, with each and every step that I shared with you in one PDF. But I will share my handwritten PDF today that will clearly explain that how this block will be designed. This block by block we will continue with the design process, and ultimately we will see that this structure is formed. The source, gate, drain, substrate, and everything with the metallization, right? Okay, so this is your process number 1. So whenever we will start a design, we have a base. We need a base. So what kind of base is there? Because this is a semiconductor material, right? And what kind of semiconductor material will be used? This is a common, that is silicon. So silicon will be used as your substrate material, right? Because on this substrate, the each and every layer is formed. So we know the base, right? So what is the base material? Is silicon substrate. So this is our beginning block. And this process starts with the oxidation of this silicon substrate, in which the relatively thick oxide layer will be formed, right? So in our next block, that is your 2, there will be an oxide layer, because whenever we will design the terminal, these terminals are not directly connected to the substrate, so there is an oxide layer. So what kind of modification will be there? There is the another layer. There we have to form another layer. Which kind of layer? This is oxide layer. And which material will be used for that? That is XiO2, silicon dioxide, and this is oxide layer. Okay, now coming to the third process, coming to the third step. What kind of step is that? We have designed the substrate, we have designed the oxide layer. Now we have to segregate the source, drain, and gate, right? So these continuous layer, which kind of layer? This oxide layer, this is not in continuous format. Okay, this is not in continuous format. We have to make the discrete type of that, right? So if we want to make the discrete type of that, we have to make a discontinuity, and we have to make we have to etch some portion in the middle portion, so that we can clearly define that which one is source terminal and which one is a drain terminal. And how we can do that? Okay, so this filled oxide is selectively, this is a very important point, is selectively etched. Etched means this is the taken away from that device. Okay, this is taken away from the device, some portion, in order to make the 3-terminal device, that is source, drain, and gate. So how we can do that? So this is your and one more thing, that this filled oxide, this is the filled oxide layer, is selectively etched to expose the silicon surface on which this MOS transistor will be created. Okay, so selectively etched means the middle portion will not be there, And for this process, we have to use some material, and that will create these three terminals, these three prominent terminals very clearly, right? So what will be our gesture for that? And this one is created. If we selectively etched some portion, etched, E-T-C-H-E-D, etched some portion with some material, that is, the material will be used for that. I am coming to that point. So our structure will be look like this. Our structure will be look like this. So this is your silicon substrate, and this is your SiO2 layer, right? Okay, so generally I am just mentioning over here, generally a mixture of hydrofluoric acid and nitric acid and acetic acid, that is the combination of HNA. What is this? This is hydrofluoric acid, this is nitric acid, and this is acetic acid, is the most common etchant, right? Etchant solvent for silicon, and the concentration of each etchant determines the etch rate. This SiO2 or silicon nitride is used as a masking material against this HNA. So what is this HNA? This is hydrofluoric acid, this is nitric acid, and this is acetic acid. Clear? Okay, and so this is the material, this is the solution, this is a solution that is used to etch some portion from the middle of the oxide layer. Clear? Okay, so coming to the fourth portion, coming to the fourth diagram. So what is this? We have already segregated this portion. This is source, gate, and drain. But after that, we have to make the polysilicon layer, we have to make the metal deposition. So what is the process of that? Right? So these total surface will be covered with a thin and high quality of oxide layer, because we have till not we have make this oxide layer for connecting the gate terminal to the substrate. So we have to make the oxide layer. So each portion, the entire region will be covered by the oxide layer, and then we have to selectively etch the portion to make the gate terminal. So how we can do that? Coming to the fourth position, this total surface is covered with a thin and high quality of oxide layer, and which will eventually form the gate oxide for this MOS transistor. So how we can do that? We have already done this. We have already done this one, right? So some layer will be deposited entire of that, just like this. Some layer will be deposited entire of that. Okay, so this is your structure. So this is the silicon substrate, and this is the thin oxide layer is there. What is this? This is your thin oxide layer. Why it is this? Because we have to make the gate terminal, and gate terminal is not directly connected to the silicon substrate. So you have to deposit some layer, and then you have to etch away what is not required portion for you, right? So coming to the fifth portion, fifth diagram. On the top of the thin oxide layer, a layer of polysilicon is deposited, and that will make the gate terminal. So how we can do that? This has already done. I have to draw this each and every times to get you understand. So this is your thin oxide layer, and this is your polysilicon layer. Whenever you will go to the diagram, it will define very clearly that which layer is applicable for which terminal. This is your thin oxide layer, and this is your polysilicon layer, right? This is your polysilicon layer. Okay, got the structure. Now we have to etch this portion to make the gate terminal. So coming to the sixth diagram, after this deposition, what we have to do? We have to do that this portion will be etched away. This portion will be etched away. We don't need this portion, and this portion. We only need this kind of. This is the portion we actually need. So this portion will be etched away. This portion will be removed. So how we can do that? after this deposition of the polysilicon layer is patterned and etched away to form the interconnects of the MOS transistor of the gate. So the same material will be used for that, for etching solvent. And after doing that, what is the structure we are getting? This is your thin oxide layer and this is your polysilicon layer. Only this portion will be there because this is your gate terminal. This is the gate terminal. So that's why we have structured this in this way. So this is your final structure, right? Now, what was there? There was a 6th diagram. Now coming to the next diagram. This is the diagram number 7. Now we have to make everything, but we have to make the N plus region and the doping, the source and drain terminals. So this thin gate oxide layer is not covered by the polysilicon and also etched away, which exposes the bare silicon surface on which the source and drain junctions are formed, right? So because we don't need this kind of portion, no? This portion is not needed, this portion is not needed, this portion is not needed. So you have to etch away all these things. So what is your final diagram? What is your final diagram? And this is your final diagram in this way. This is source, this is drain, and this is your polysilicon. This is your oxide layer, this is your polysilicon layer, and this is your oxide layer. Okay. So from this silicon substrate we have come to the point and where the 3 terminals are clearly mentioned. Now coming to the 8th position. The entire silicon surface is then doped with the high concentration of impurities through the process of diffusion and ion implantation. Because we have to make the N plus region, because we are using the P kind of substrate. We are assuming that we are using P kind of substrate, so that's why we have to build up the N plus region of that. So this is the entire region is formed by using the process of diffusion and ion implantation. Diffusion and ion implantation. The entire structure is formed by the process of diffusion and ion implantation, right? So once the source and drain regions are created, the entire surface is again covered with an insulating layer according to the structure, right? So insulating oxide is then patterned in order to provide the contact window for the source and drain terminal, because we have to make the contact window, interconnects basically. So for this interconnection purpose, I have to make the entire surface with a thin insulating layer, insulating oxide layer. So how this is seen of that? The entire surface, this one, I am not highlighting the portion. This is everything, and this one. So this is your for connecting the metal contact. And this is your total N plus, right? Okay, so this is the last before point, and after that the entire surface is covered with some metal, that is aluminium, which will form the interconnects, and finally this metal layer will be patterned and designed by etching away the selective portion. So how we can do that? This entire portion will be covered by the metal deposition. So how we can see that? So if it is your structure, just I am going very casually of that. The entire region is covered with this material, with this metal, right? With this metal. So this is your total metal portion, and we have to etch this metal portion. This kind of is not needed, this is not needed, so we have to etch this kind of metals from the device, from the structure, and we have to make the finalization. We have to make the final concept, the final diagram of that. And how it is do that? There is a source terminal, there is a drain terminal, and there is a gate, there is a insulating layer, and there is a metal deposition. So this is your source, this is your gate, and this is your drain. Okay, so I have just explained very briefly that how these each and every steps is going on, is happening, what are the process associated with that, and how the terminals are created. So whenever you will go through the entire PDF, you will acquire the knowledge of that in detail, that how this total entire process is going on. So please continue that session, and please get understand the total fabrication process. This is a very important question for your semester. In my next lecture, I will upload the voltage characteristics curve of the MOS transistor in region wise, and by explaining the overall diagram. So thank you so much.